My name is Sophia Fletcher. I'm 36 years old. My sister and I hadn't spoken in 12 years. Our parents made sure of that. On March 3, 2026, I stood in her ICU room after a near-fatal car accident. When her eyes opened, she looked at me like I was the enemy and whispered the exact words our parents had fed her for over a decade. That I never wanted her, that I hated her since we were kids. That I was a greedy, ungrateful adopted daughter who chose money over family and deserved to be erased. I didn't argue. I didn't defend myself. Instead, I pulled out my phone and showed her the 427 messages I had sent across 12 years. Every text, every email, every birthday wish, none of which she had ever received. Her face broke. Then she grabbed my wrist hard and made me promise one thing about them. And that single promise changed everything. Before I tell you what that promise was and how it destroyed everything our parents built, if you're the kind of person who loves stories about family betrayal, hidden truths, and justice finally served, hit the like button and subscribe right now. Where are you watching from? And what time is it there right now? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. Now, let me take you back to that night. The call came on February 19th, 2026, at 11:47 p.m. I was in my Portland apartment, about to go to bed, when my phone lit up with a number I didn't recognize. Area code 856, New Jersey. I stared at it for 3 rings. No one from New Jersey had called me in 12 years. No one from that life was supposed to call me ever again. I answered anyway. Is this Sophia Fletcher? The voice was male, young, uncertain. Or, I guess, maybe you changed your name. I'm Tyler Morrison. I'm engaged to your sister Lauren. My entire body went cold before he even said the next word. There's been an accident. The details came fast after that. I-95 northbound near exit 36. Semi-truck crossed the median, T-boned Lauren's Honda Civic on the passenger side. Spinal injury L3 to L4. Emergency surgery. ICU. The next 72 hours were critical. I heard hospital sounds in the background of his call. PA system. The beep of monitors. It was real. She's been in and out of consciousness, Tyler said, his voice cracking. When she's awake, she's been asking for you, saying your name. I found your number in an old contact list she keeps in a drawer. I don't know if I should have called. Her parents said what? 3 seconds of silence. I need to be honest with you, he said carefully. She doesn't know I'm calling. And your parents? They're going to lose it if you show up. But I can't shake this feeling that she needs you, even if she doesn't know it yet. My hand was already on my car keys. I'll be there by morning, I said. I hung up and sat in the dark for maybe 30 seconds. 12 years? 12 years since I'd last stood in front of my sister. 12 years since she'd screamed at me in our parents' driveway that I wasn't her sister anymore, that I'd never really been. I opened my phone and navigated to the folder I'd never deleted. Lauren, undelivered. Yeek, 427 messages, every text that bounced back, every email that got no response, every Instagram DM that showed sent but never delivered. I took a screenshot of the list, just in case. I didn't know yet that this would be the proof that changed everything. The drive from Portland, Maine to Cherry Hill, New Jersey is 385 miles. 6 hours if you don't stop. I didn't stop. At 1:13 a.m., I crossed the Maine-New Hampshire border. The highway was empty, just me and the dark and too much time to think. I thought about the summer I turned 18, the day I found the adoption papers in a box in our attic labeled Legal S. I remember bringing them downstairs to my mother. I remember her face when she saw what I was holding. We were going to tell you when you were older, she'd said. We loved you so much. We forgot you weren't really ours. Weren't really ours. Even at 18, that phrasing had stung. Lauren was 13 then. When I told her, because our mother made me tell her, made it into this family moment, Lauren's reaction wasn't shock. It was relief. So that's why they love you different, she'd said. Even then, the wedge was already forming. At 3:20 a.m., I stopped for coffee at a rest area. Bitter. Cold. Just like the conversation I'd had with an estate attorney in January 2014. My biological parents, Catherine and James Donovan, died in a head-on collision on Route 287. I didn't even know they existed until the lawyer called. Irish immigrants. Had me at 19 and 21. Gave me up for adoption because they had no family support, no stable housing, nothing to offer except love and the hope that someone else could give me more. They left me everything. A small house in Newark, life insurance, savings, $1.2 million. My adoptive parents, Carolyn and Vincent Fletcher, tried to claim it should pass through them. Argued I was legally their daughter, so my biological parents' estate should be theirs to manage. The lawyer told me it wouldn't work legally, but it was going to get ugly. It did. 4 months of legal battle. I won. The Donovans had named me specifically in their will. The inheritance was mine, but the cost wasn't money. At 4:55 a.m., sitting in traffic approaching Philadelphia, I thought about the last time I'd seen Lauren. July 2014, her 19th birthday. I'd driven to Cherry Hill to drop off a present, a necklace with 2 interlinked rings, sisters. She met me in the driveway. Our parents stood on the porch behind her like puppeteers. "You got your blood money," she'd said. "Now leave us alone. You're not my sister anymore. You never really were." I'd tried one more time. "I sent you 17 messages explaining everything. Did you read any of them?" "I deleted them all. I don't need your excuses." I'd driven away with the necklace still in my hand, still in my apartment to this day, and I'd made a decision that night. I'd keep sending messages, but I wouldn't chase. If Lauren wanted the truth, she'd have to come looking for it. 12 years later, pulling into Jefferson Cherry Hill Hospital at 6:15 a.m., I finally understood. She never came looking because she never got the chance. Tyler was waiting by the entrance. 33, wearing a rumpled software company hoodie, eyes red from exhaustion. He looked relieved to see me. "Thank you for coming," he said. "I wasn't sure you would." We walked toward the elevator in silence. He pressed the button for the 4th floor. "Your parents are in the cafeteria right now," he said quietly. "Visiting hours don't start until 8, but I can get you in early through staff entrance. I just need to warn you, she's not the same person you remember. The morphine makes her softer, sadder, and she's going to be angry you're here." The elevator doors opened. ICU, fluorescent lights, that distinct hospital smell. "Your parents told me you left for money," Tyler said as we walked down the hallway. "That you fought them in court over some inheritance and chose cash over family. Lauren believes that completely. But the way you drove 6 hours overnight without hesitation, that doesn't match the story. So what's the truth?" I looked at him. Really looked at him. He was trying to figure out which version was real. "Let me talk to Lauren first," I said. "Then I'll tell you everything. And Tyler, it's worse than you think." Room 4-316. I could see her through the window. Frail. Bandaged. Monitors beeping their steady rhythm. IV lines in both arms. My sister, 31 years old, 5 years younger than me. The last time I'd seen her, she'd been standing, shouting, whole. "She doesn't know you're here," Tyler said. "I told her I was getting coffee. This is going to be a shock." I read the medical chart on the door. Fletcher, Lauren M.D.O.B., June 15th, 1995. Allergies, penicillin. DNR. No. I pushed the door open. Lauren's eyes were half closed, glazed with medication. It took her 3 seconds to focus on my face. Recognition hit. Her expression hardened completely. Get out. I didn't leave. I pulled the visitor chair closer to her bed and sat down. I'm not here to fight, I said quietly. I'm just here to see if you're okay. You don't get to show up after 12 years and pretend you care. Her voice was weak, but the anger was clear. Mom was right about you. You only show up when it's convenient. I showed up every week for 5 years, Lauren. You just never saw it. She laughed. It sounded painful. More lies. You're good at those. I pulled out my phone. Then let me show you some truth. I opened my Messages app, navigated to the folder I'd kept for 12 years. Lauren, undelivered. I handed her the phone. I stopped counting after 400, I said. This is every text I sent that bounced back or went into void. Every email that got no response. Every Instagram DM that showed sent but never delivered. 12 years, Lauren. I never stopped. Her hands were shaking as she scrolled. Message after message, date after date. July 15th, 2014, August 2014, September 2014, on and on. Her face changed, confusion melting into disbelief. These can't be real, she whispered. I never got any of these. Not one. I know. But if you sent these... She kept scrolling. Stopped on a specific message. Her voice broke when she read it aloud. Happy 25th birthday. I know you probably won't read this, but I'm still proud of you. Still love you. Always will. Sophia, June 15th, 2020. She looked up at me. Tears were forming. I spent that birthday crying, she said, because I thought you'd forgotten I existed. The heart monitor was beeping faster now. A nurse glanced in through the window but didn't interrupt. If you sent these, Lauren said slowly, where did they go? How did I never see even one? I kept my voice gentle. Who has access to your email, Lauren? Who set up your phone plan? Who told you to block me on Instagram in 2014? She stared at me, processing. Mom set up my email when I was 17. Said it was easier if she managed it. Her voice got quieter. Dad pays my phone bill. They said it was to help me. A long pause. They told me you blocked me first. They lied to you, I said. About me. About the messages. Maybe about other things too. Her face crumbled. Oh my God. Oh my God. What did they do? I didn't have all the answers yet, but I was starting to understand the shape of it. There was this time, Lauren said, words spilling out now. Maybe 2016. A card came in the mail with your handwriting. Mom grabbed it before I could open it. Said it was probably just you trying to manipulate me. I believed her. I actually believed her. The morphine drip machine beeped. She looked so small in that hospital bed. Sophia, what else did I miss? I pulled my chair even closer. I don't know yet, but I'm going to find out. We're going to find out together. Her hand shot out and grabbed my wrist. Hard, desperate. Wait, there's something you need to know. About why they're here right now. About the accident and the medical bills and... She trailed off, exhausted. Promise me something first. What? Promise me you'll stop them. From doing this to anyone else. Promise me you'll fight them with everything. Promise me you won't let them take anything else from you. I didn't understand what she meant by anything else, but I looked at my sister. Really looked at her for the first time in 12 years, and I promised. Talk to Tyler, she whispered. Tonight. He knows some of it. The paperwork Mom and Dad keep bringing. He's been trying to tell me something's wrong, but I've been too medicated to process it. Her eyes were closing again. And Sophia? I'm sorry, I'm so sorry I believed them. At 9:47 p.m. that same day, I met Tyler in the hospital cafeteria. The place was nearly empty. He had his laptop open, a spreadsheet on the screen with color-coded rows. "I'm a software engineer," he said. "I build financial models for a living. So when your parents started pushing paperwork at Lauren 3 days after her accident, while she was still in ICU, I started tracking everything." He turned the laptop toward me. "And the math doesn't work. At all." He walked me through it. Total medical bills, $383,600. Insurance approved, $215,000. Patient responsibility, $168,600. "That's a lot of money," I said. "It is, but it's manageable. Hospitals negotiate, payment plans exist, financial assistance programs." He pulled out a manila folder labeled Medical Urgent in handwriting I recognized. My mother's. "Your parents are insisting Lauren sign over her house to cover it. The house is worth $425,000. She inherited it from your grandparents in 2019. I stared at him. A $400,000 house to cover $160,000 in bills? That's what I asked. Your mother said it was the only way to guarantee coverage and protect Lauren's credit. I opened the folder. Power of attorney forms, deed transfer paperwork, and signatures. I looked closer at the signature on the power of attorney. Tyler. My voice was very calm. "This isn't Lauren's handwriting. Look at the capital L. Lauren writes it with a loop at the top. This is straight. Blocky. Someone forged this." His face went white. "I've been suspicious of your parents for weeks," he said quietly. "The way they push these documents, the way they control who visits, how defensive they get when I ask questions. But watching you and Lauren today, seeing those messages..." "Sophia, I don't think they're trying to help Lauren. I think they're trying to take something from her." I closed the folder. "I need to see all of Lauren's mail, everything from the past 6 months. Unopened. Untouched by them. Can you get it? She has 3 months of unopened mail at the apartment. She never opens financial stuff. Says it makes her anxious. Your parents handle all of that for her. Make it tonight. I have a very bad feeling about what we're going to find." Tyler met me at the Motel 6 on Route 38 at 11:30 p.m. He brought 2 shopping bags full of envelopes. I spread them across the bed and started sorting. Banks, credit cards, collection agencies, medical billing. I opened the first credit card statement. Capital One. Balance. $23,847. Tyler. Does Lauren have a Capital One card? No. She only has one credit card, a Discover card she got in college. I kept opening. Chase. $31,250. Citibank. $19,400. American Express. $18,600. Bank of America. $27,380. Wells Fargo. $14,920. Discover. $7,453. 7 credit cards, none of which Lauren knew existed. Tyler was pale. She didn't apply for these. No. I was taking photos of every statement. She didn't. Then I found the personal loans. Lending Club, $42,800. Marcus by Goldman Sachs, $35,600. SoFi, $17,800. Store financing, $31,400. And then, at the bottom of one pile, a collections notice. Medical debt. Cherry Hill Women's Health, $14,920. From 2019. Lauren had a miscarriage in 2019, Tyler said quietly. Before we met, I didn't know she never paid the bills, or that she even got the bills. I added it up on my notepad. Credit cards, $142,850. Loans, $96,200. Store financing, $31,400. Medical, $14,920. Total, $285,370. My hands were steady as I wrote it down. They should have been shaking. This is identity theft, Tyler said. Your parents did this. Keep looking. I need to know how deep this goes. At 1:47 a.m., Tyler had an idea. Lauren's old laptop, from college. It's still at the apartment. She never uses it anymore. We drove to get it. The laptop was from 2013 to 2016 era. Tyler booted it up. The email client auto-logged in, saved password from years ago. I searched for Capital One in the archived messages, and there it was. From Capital One no reply at capitalown.com to lauren.fletcher1995@gmail.com. Subject: Your new credit card application has been approved. Date: March 15, 2013, 3:22 p.m. Auto-forwarded to carolyn.fletcher@verizon.net. Reply from Carolyn to Vincent. Card activated. Billing address updated to ours. She'll never know. See, I took 17 screenshots. Tyler was pacing. We need to call the police, right now. Not yet, I said. First, I need to talk to my parents, face to face. I want to see their expressions when they know I know. I arrived at 1847 Maple Ridge Drive at 8:15 a.m. on March 5th. The house looked exactly the same. Red brick, white shutters, the lawn my father always obsessed over. I still had a key. It still worked. My mother was in the kitchen making coffee when I walked in. What are you doing here? We need to talk. About Lauren, about the messages, about a lot of things. Lauren doesn't want to see you. She made that clear years ago. I sat down at the kitchen table, the same table where we'd had family dinners. It was covered now in Lauren's medical paperwork. Actually, she does want to see me. We talked yesterday. For 3 hours. She knows about the messages now, Mom. All 427 of them. My mother's face tightened. My father appeared in the doorway, silent, listening. You're manipulating her while she's vulnerable, my mother said. Those messages are probably fabricated. You always were good at lying. I pulled out the folder. 63 pages, printouts of bank statements, credit reports, screenshots, forged signatures. I slid one sheet across the table. Explain this. The one from 2013. Where you activated a credit card in Lauren's name and made sure she'd never know. My mother stared at it. My father stepped closer. You think you can come in here and accuse us of what exactly? My father said. We helped Lauren build credit. She was young, irresponsible. We managed her finances like any responsible parent would. Parents don't open 7 credit cards and 3 loans in their child's name and rack up $285,000 in debt. That's not parenting. That's fraud. My mother stood up. Her face was flushed. You have no right. No right to come into this house and... I have every right, I said calmly. Because I'm the one who kept trying to tell Lauren the truth. And you're the ones who built your entire life on making sure she never heard it. The grandfather clock in the hallway chimed 9. Here's what's going to happen, I said. You're going to sit down with Lauren and me, and you're going to explain every single transaction, every card, every loan, every forged signature. You're going to provide documentation of where that money went, and you're going to start paying it back. Or what? My father said. Or I take this to the Camden County prosecutor, the state attorney general, the FBI's Financial Crimes Division, and every news station in South Jersey. Your choice. My mother's voice turned cold. You always were vindictive. This is about the inheritance, isn't it? You're still angry we questioned your claim to money from people who gave you away. I smiled. Actually smiled. No. This is about you stealing from your daughter and isolating her from anyone who might help her see it. The inheritance just proved I was right not to trust you. And now Lauren will see it too. My father took a step forward. If you do this, you'll destroy this family. I stood up and walked to the door. You destroyed this family 12 years ago when you chose control over truth. I'm just making sure everyone can finally see what you built on. I paused with my hand on the doorknob. You have 48 hours to decide, confession or exposure. After that, I make the choice for you. I walked out the same door I'd left through in July 2014. My phone buzzed before I even got to my car. Text from Tyler. Lauren's awake and asking for you, and she wants to see her bank statements. All of them. On March 7th, Lauren was moved to a recovery ward. Room 2-183. She looked stronger, more alert, more angry. I brought something I'd carried for 12 years, a sealed envelope from New Beginnings Family Services, Newark, New Jersey, dated 1990, and a letter. I need you to understand something before I show you this, I said. Our parents didn't steal from you because they loved me more. They stole from you because they needed control over someone. I fought back. You were next in line. I handed her the adoption papers. She read them carefully. Catherine Donovan, James Donovan. Baby girl, 6 months old. Reason for adoption: unwed parents, aged 19 and 21, unstable housing, wanted better life for child. So they loved you more than us, but they chose her? Lauren said quietly. No. Read this. I gave her the letter. It had been in the estate paperwork in 2014, not the adoption file. Catherine had kept it, hoping someday she'd meet me and be able to give it to me herself. Lauren read it aloud, her voice breaking. To my daughter, wherever you are, I hope the family who raises you loves you fiercely. I hope they tell you that being chosen is just as real as being born into a family. I hope they never make you feel like you owe them for loving you, because you don't. You never will. Love is not a debt. Catherine, July 1990. She wiped her eyes. They made you feel like you owed them, didn't they? For taking you in. For raising you. Every single day. And when I tried to claim what my biological parents left me, they said it proved I was ungrateful. That I valued money over them. Lauren's voice hardened. They said the same thing about me when I asked questions about my credit. That I was ungrateful. Suspicious. That they were just trying to help. Tyler was sitting in the corner, watching us piece it together. When you fought them over the inheritance, Lauren said slowly, they needed me to believe you were the villain, because if I believed you, I might start questioning them too. And if I questioned them, I'd find the credit cards, the loans, the forged signatures. She looked at me, really looked at me. Sophia, we weren't sisters to them. We were assets, to use or discard depending on which one of us was more useful at the time. So what do? She asked. We stop being useful. We stop protecting their reputation. We tell the truth, all of it, and we let the consequences fall where they belong. Tyler spoke up from the corner. I called a friend, Rachel Hoffman. She's a criminal defense attorney who specializes in financial fraud. She wants to meet with both of you tomorrow. Lauren looked at me. Are you staying? I'm not going anywhere, not this time. Rachel Hoffman came to the hospital on March 8th. She reviewed our evidence for 2 hours. What you have here, she said, closing the folder, is one of the clearest cases of identity theft and financial fraud I've seen in 15 years of practice. The auto-forwarded email alone is a smoking gun. Combined with the forged signatures and the systematic pattern over 11 years, this is absolutely prosecutable. She paused. But you need to understand, this will not be quiet. Your parents will be arrested. There will be news coverage. Your family will be publicly destroyed. Are you both prepared for that? Lauren and I looked at each other. Good, Lauren said from her wheelchair. They already destroyed us privately for 12 years. Rachel explained the charges. Identity theft under New Jersey Statute NJSA 2C21-17. Second-degree crime, 5 to 10 years. Wire fraud, forgery, financial exploitation. Will they go to jail? Lauren asked. Possibly. It depends on their criminal history, their cooperation, and the judge. But Lauren, they stole $285,000 from you over 11 years, starting when you were barely 18. This isn't a mistake. This is systematic fraud. Rachel brought in a bank investigator, Dennis Kowalski from TD Bank's fraud division. He traced where the money went. Home renovations, $67,000. A BMW, $48,000. Vacations, restaurants, electronics. The spending pattern is crystal clear, Dennis said. This wasn't emergency borrowing. Your parents were supplementing their lifestyle using your credit. They made minimum payments to keep accounts active, then opened new cards when limits hit. Classic long-term financial abuse. I had one question. Is any of it recoverable? Some. The house has about $180,000 in equity after the mortgage. We can place a lien. The car can be seized. But most of the money is gone, spent. You'll get restitution ordered, but realistically, it'll be paid back over years. Rachel looked at both of us. I need to know what you want. Criminal prosecution takes time but sends a message and creates a legal record. Private settlement is faster but lets them avoid public accountability. What matters more? Speed or justice? Lauren's hands were folded in her lap. Steady. I want them prosecuted. I want it on public record. I want other people they might do this to, if there are others, to be able to find the truth. And I want them to know that we're not going to protect them anymore. I squeezed her hand. Then that's what we'll do. On March 16th, we filed a police report with the Camden County Prosecutor's Office. Case number 2026-C-C-04891. Detective Morrison was assigned. He looked at our evidence and nodded. This is one of the most thoroughly documented cases I've handled in 20 years. You've made our job significantly easier. Good, I said. Make theirs significantly harder. Arrest warrants will be issued within 48 hours. Do your parents know this is coming? Lauren smiled slightly. No, and I'd like to keep it that way. March 18th, 2026, 6:23 a.m. I wasn't there. Neither was Lauren. But Tyler drove past and called us. It's happening. 3 police cars. Your parents are in handcuffs. Your mom is crying. Your dad looks really angry. Lauren turned off her phone after the 5th call from relatives demanding explanations. They'll figure it out when the news runs the story tonight. And it did. NBC 10 Philadelphia, 6 p.m. broadcast. Local couple arrested for allegedly stealing daughter's identity in decade-long scheme. The anchor's voice was professional and detached. Prosecutors say Carolyn and Vincent Fletcher of Cherry Hill systematically opened credit accounts in their daughter's name beginning in 2013, hiding the debt while simultaneously keeping her isolated from family members who might have discovered the fraud, including her own sister. We watched from Tyler's apartment. Lauren was in her wheelchair. I was sitting on the couch. Neither of us said anything. My phone rang. Unknown number. Ms. Fletcher, this is David Greenberg, attorney for Carolyn and Vincent Fletcher. My clients would like to discuss a settlement to avoid trial. Tell them to discuss it with the prosecutor. We're done negotiating. I hung up. March 20th. Arraignment. They pleaded not guilty. Bail was set at $75,000 each. They both posted it. Rachel filed the civil suit the same day. $285,370, plus damages, plus attorney fees. Outside the courthouse, Rachel spoke to reporters. This case represents a profound betrayal of trust between parents and child. My clients are seeking full restitution and accountability for over a decade of financial abuse, identity theft, and systematic manipulation. The Fletchers' attorney had his own statement. This is a family dispute being criminalized by an estranged daughter with an axe to grind. We look forward to presenting the full context in court. I watched it on the news and texted Lauren. They're still playing games. Good thing we have receipts. On March 22nd, I got an email from a woman named Jennifer Carlisle. Ms. Fletcher, I saw the news coverage of your case. Your parents provided financial advising to my elderly mother in 2009 to 2010, shortly before she passed. After reading your story, I'm reviewing her accounts from that period. I'm finding irregularities I don't understand. Would you be willing to talk? 3 days later, she sent an update. I've found approximately $50,000 in transactions I can't account for. Your parents had power of attorney briefly. I'm contacting an attorney. Because your sister spoke up, I'm finding answers I didn't know to look for. Lauren showed me the email. How many others were there? She asked. I didn't have an answer. March 28th, 2026. 3 weeks after that hospital room. 3 weeks after I showed Lauren the messages. Tyler proposed. He knelt beside Lauren's wheelchair in their apartment. She was still doing physical therapy, still working on standing with assistance, but she was healing. I was going to wait until you could walk down an aisle, he said. But then I realized, you're already the strongest person I know, wheels or not. And I don't want to wait another day. Lauren was crying. You sure you want to marry into this mess? I'm marrying you. The mess is just bonus material. I watched them and felt something I hadn't felt in 12 years. Actual, uncomplicated happiness. After Tyler put the ring on her finger, simple, not expensive because he was saving money for medical bills, I pulled something out of my bag. A book. Leather-bound. Navy blue. I have something for you, I said. Lauren took it. The title was embossed in gold on the cover. For Lauren, the messages they hid, 2014 to 2026. She opened it. Every message, all 427 of them, printed chronologically, with dates and brief context notes. Every message I sent, I said. Every year I tried. I wanted you to have proof that you were never forgotten, Lauren. Not on your birthdays, not on holidays, not on random Tuesdays when I just missed you. She flipped through the pages, stopped at one entry, March 15th, 2020. I hope you're safe. I hope you're not alone during this pandemic. I'm thinking of you. I was alone that month, she whispered. So alone. And you were thinking of me the whole time. I also had to tell her about the legal status. Rachel says plea negotiations could take 6 months or more. They might even go to trial, which could take over a year. Either way, this isn't ending quickly. I paused. But here's what we have right now. They can't contact us for minimum 5 years under the protective order. They can't touch your house. There's a lien preventing any transfers, and every penny they stole is documented. Do you think they'll actually go to prison? Lauren asked. I don't know, but I know they'll pay back every cent eventually, and they'll never be able to do this to anyone else. Tyler asked the question I'd been avoiding. Have they tried to reach out? Tried to apologize? Lauren and I looked at each other. No, I said. And honestly, I don't expect they will. Lauren read Jennifer Carlisle's email aloud. Because your sister spoke up, I'm finding answers I didn't even know to look for. Thank you for your courage. She looked up. We stopped them, Sophia. Maybe not in time for us, but in time for someone else to get justice. Rachel thought there might be others. People from their church, neighbors, family friends they'd offered to help financially. Good, Lauren said quietly. I hope they all come forward. I hope our parents see exactly how much damage they caused when they thought no one was watching. I thought about that promise she'd made me make in the hospital. Promise me you'll stop them from doing this to anyone else. In the hospital, Lauren said, when I made you promise to fight them, I was so medicated I didn't fully understand what I was asking. But now, the police investigation, the news coverage, Jennifer and maybe others coming forward, it's so much bigger than I imagined. You gave me permission to stop protecting them, I said. That's what you gave me, and I'll never regret it. I paused. Do you? Regret going public? She looked at the hospital bracelet she'd saved, sitting on her dresser, a reminder of where this started. No. For 12 years, I lived in a story they wrote, where you were the villain and they were the heroes protecting me. Now I know the truth. And even if it's painful, even if it's public, even if it takes years to fully heal, truth is better than their version of peace. She paused. Truth is freedom. March 31st, 2026. I was back in my Portland apartment. Lauren and Tyler had driven up for a week. She needed to get away from New Jersey, away from the house, away from the memories. We were having dinner. Just the three of us. Wine glasses on my dining table. Portland city lights visible through the window. Tyler asked me a question. What would you say to your parents if you could talk to them right now? I thought about it for a long moment. Nothing, I said finally. They took 12 years of our voices, kept us apart with lies. I'm not giving them another word. I paused. But I'd give you everything, I said to Lauren. Every message, every year, every fight I have left. She reached across the table and took my hand. You already did. You kept your promise. The evening was settling into night. The city was quiet. That promise I made in the hospital, I said, looking at my sister, really seeing her for the first time in 12 years. It wasn't about revenge. It was about making sure the truth, no matter how late it arrived, could still save something. I squeezed her hand. And it did. It saved us.